You ever feel like you're doing everything right, working hard, working on yourself, and yet you're making no progress while everyone around you is getting ahead in life? That was definitely how I felt. It just didn't make any sense. Everyone tells you to lock in, but nobody tells you how to lock in. I decided I had to figure it out for myself. I did a ton of research, read a bunch of books, and what I discovered was actually mind-blowing. The reason you're not getting ahead in life isn't because you're lazy or not smart enough. It's because we've all been sold on a lie. They say knowledge is power, and I truly believe it because after learning these three principles, my life was changed forever. I was finally making progress, and the best part is once you implement these three things, it doesn't just improve one part of your life, it improves every aspect of your life. Dating, relationships, academics, financials, you name it. So I'm here to level the playing field, give you the knowledge you need to start making some moves in your life. And the best part is, some of these aren't even that hard to implement. So let's get into it. All right, the first thing you're gonna wanna know is that it all begins up here, your noggin. So if you're like me, your noggin houses a very important organ called the brain. And this might seem very obvious, but your mindset is very important. Now, what do I mean by that? We can break it down in two parts. You have your conscious brain, which is everything you're aware of, everything you think about, everything that you know. And there's also the unconscious part of your brain, which is a lot harder to think about because it's in your subconscious. You're not consciously aware of it. And it's your subconscious part of your brain where we can really make a lot of progress. Because as you grew up in life, you've learned a lot of things. And some of those are healthy things that help you make progress in life. But there's also things that you've learned and unconsciously internalized that are actually holding you back from making progress. Let me give you an example. Let's say one of your goals is to get ripped, get jacked, have that six-pack, toned abs, look good, get some shotties. So how do you get there? Well, we can break it down to two simple components. Well, one, you gotta work out and build some muscle, of course. And two, depending on your body type, how much body fat you have, probably gotta lean down a bit. So cut down what you eat, or if you're really skinny, bulk up. That's basically what it takes, right? I think for most people, working out is one thing. The thing that most people struggle with getting lean is usually the diet. If you wanna lose some weight, lose some of that body fat and have your muscles show, well, you just gotta be at a calorie deficit. And what that means is you just can't be eating whatever you want. You gotta watch your diet a bit. Prioritize protein, less carbs, less of the unhealthy stuff, less processed foods, the stuff that tastes good. And that's where it all crumbles for a lot of people. They love food, they love good food. Like, it's not easy to eat a salad, right? Salads don't taste that great. It leaves you hungry still. So now, if you think about all those complaints, where do all those complaints stem from? Well, growing up, you might have unconsciously started believing that you eat food for pleasure. You eat food because it tastes good. You don't eat food that doesn't taste good. You don't want to eat your veggies, even though those are the healthy things, right? That's why even when you know you're supposed to eat a salad or eat something healthy so that you can lose weight and show off your six-pack, most people have a hard time doing it. And the thing is, most people didn't even realize that they eat for pleasure, right? Like, it's just subconsciously built into them that, yeah, I'm just gonna pick out the foods that I like because it tastes good. However, once you recognize that, oh, I do eat for pleasure, but that goes against what my goals are asking of me. Now that you've brought it from your subconscious to your conscious, that's when you can actually deliberately make a change in your mindset. Instead of eating for pleasure, you might decide that you want to be eating for health. It was only after I made that switch in my mind that it was so much easier to tolerate the foods that I didn't like previously. Whenever I looked at a salad or veggies, things I didn't like, I no longer thought like, oh God, this is gonna taste bad. I'm not gonna enjoy it. I'm still gonna be hungry after. I actually became excited to eat it because I was imagining the toned, fit body that I would be getting as a result of eating this. And it's honestly so powerful because once you realize this and it becomes part of your conscious, you have the opportunity to rewire your brain. Now when I see processed junk food, I don't even crave it anymore. In fact, I'm actually a little repulsed by it because I know what it's gonna do to my body. So take some time to think about your goals, what it takes to get there, and what unconscious beliefs that you have that make it harder for you to hit that goal. Once you've identified that and combine it with this next tip, that's when you're really gonna feel like you're going somewhere. So this next principle is the one that really had a dramatic effect on my life because it was the one that I was getting wrong my entire life. Basically how I operated in the past was I had these spurts of motivation where I would go crazy. I would start working like 18-hour days nonstop. The grind was all I can think about, and I would go at it so hard, but that would last maybe 2 weeks tops. And after that, I just got burnt out. I was like, thinking about the grind was the last thing I wanted to do. So as you can see, it's kind of unsustainable. Success at the end of the day isn't about productivity. It's about consistency. That was something I had to learn the hard way. It doesn't matter how hard you can work in a short period of time. If you can't keep that up over a long period of time, you're not really going to get anywhere. You'll get somewhere for 2 weeks, and then that's the end of it. Compare that to someone working half or even a quarter as hard, but they can sustain that for years. They're going to make so much more progress than you. At the end of the day, it isn't a race. Everyone's going to go at their own pace, right? And if that means for you a slower pace so that you can maintain it over a long time, that's going to be better for you than trying to sprint all at once and then crash and burn before you make it to the finish line. But beyond consistency, there's actually one more thing that you should be aware of that's tied to this principle. And that's that too many people focus on being busy rather than doing the right thing. Some people just gaslight themselves into thinking that they're productive when all they're doing is just something that's just taking up their time. Going back to our previous example, I already broke it down. If you're trying to get jacked and toned, well, you gotta work out and you gotta eat well. Those are just the non-negotiables. You can literally do anything else to make yourself feel like you're getting towards that goal, but unless you actually do those two things, you're not actually making a step forward. What I've seen is that some people are just so focused on scrolling TikTok, watching YouTube videos to find the most optimal workout to build muscle or lose fat that they're not putting in the time to actually go to the gym to work out. Like, they're gaslighting themselves thinking, oh yeah, I'm being productive right now, finding the best workouts. But they might just go to the gym once or twice a week. Whereas someone who might not know the most optimal workouts, but they're going to the gym 5-6 times a week, that guy's definitely making way more progress than the guy who spends most of the time just doing research. Now, I'm not saying not to do research, but just make sure that you break down whatever it takes to get to your goal and that you're doing those things. So for this one, actually working out and eating a good diet. Anything else like research is a bonus on top of that. But don't substitute the time that you would have gone to the gym for research instead. Alright, so if you get a good grasp of these first two principles, well, you're going to be going a long way. But you're going to want to know this third principle because this is the one that really helps keep you in check and keep you on track. Because this is what really separates the top 1% of people from everyone else. Too many people in society optimize and prioritize comfort and convenience. What makes the top 1% of people unique is that they actively seek out discomfort and challenges because that's what really fosters growth. Everyone wants to be successful. Everyone wants to achieve greatness. But yet, greatness isn't for everyone. The moment you feel like you've done it all, the moment you feel like you're good enough, the moment you feel like I don't need to push anymore, that is the moment you stop growing. Because you see, the top 1% of people, they're just different. They give it their all because they want to see how far they can push it. They want to see how much they can achieve in life. To them, what's the point of life if you can't give it your all? What's the point of life if you're not going to test your limits and see how far you can go? There's a reason why there's a quote that says, complacency is the enemy of greatness. And I'm sure you've seen it around you. Friends, family, people who just are complacent or just don't have a lot of ambition in life. And in fact, it could be dangerous to even surround yourself around those people because they might question you. Why are you trying so hard? Why are you putting all this time and effort into this? Because you see, some of those people might also have a lot of goals that they'll share with you. But the difference is that they aren't taking the time and putting in the effort to actually get there. So when they see you actually putting in the time and effort, they probably feel bad about themselves and they might actually try to put you down, which is why it's important to find people similar to you who have a drive, have the ambition, and actually putting in the hard work to getting there. Those are the people that will celebrate your successes with you because they truly understand the hard work it takes to actually get somewhere. And yeah, I get it. It's going to be really hard to find these people. After all, being part of the top 1% is kind of lonely. It means that most people just aren't like you. And there's only a very small subset of people that will truly understand you. Which is why I'm building a community on Discord for people that share the same drive and passion for the things that they want to achieve. So if you're interested in being a part of that, a link to join the server will be in the description below. If you're able to truly internalize and implement these 3 principles into your life, you'll be making strides. You won't even recognize yourself because you'll be making so much progress. And hey, that's what I'm here for, to help you achieve the life that you want to live, your best life. So if you've gotten some value out of this video, please leave a like and subscribe. It lets me know what kind of content you guys like. And leave a comment below with whatever you want to hear me talk about next. So until next time, that's another episode of Life Maxing.